The Pentagon says it will work with other agencies to fulfill President Trump's directive to release files related to extraterrestrial life and unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. Now, this comes after the president gave the directive on his social media. Let's bring in Avi Loeb, astrophysicist and director of the Institute for Theory and Computation at Harvard University and the author of Extraterrestrial: The First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth. Avi, thank you so much for joining us. I want to start with this. What challenges do you see in declassifying information relating to extraterrestrial life and UAPs?
Well, thanks for having me. The material that is currently classified could be classified in order for adversarial nations not to be aware of the level, the quality of the data that we collect in defending the nation. And as a result of that, even if it deals with objects that have nothing to do with our adversaries, the Pentagon and the intelligence agencies might be reluctant to share it. There could be another reason that both the Pentagon and the intelligence agencies are unable to identify some objects, and they do not want to admit that they're not doing their job. So they don't want to face scrutiny on the, for example, we all know about the story of the Chinese spy balloon that was not identified for a while. For a variety of reasons, some of this data is under wraps and difficult to declassify. However, my point is that anything to do with what happened 50 years ago is irrelevant to the battlefield today. So the technologies that humans employed back then are very much inferior to what we are using now, and therefore that kind of data should be released and shared with scientists so we can help government figure it out, because there is a remote chance that maybe there was evidence for technologies that originated beyond this Earth.
That is so interesting. And you know, Avi, this is a topic that so many people find fascinating for one reason or another. And I almost have to ask here, should we temper our expectations? Because I'm sure people are expecting to find out some sort of shocking information once this is all released.
Well, it all depends on what the government holds secret. And as of now, we just don't know. I haven't been exposed to that evidence. But there are people that either served within government or military personnel that told us that there is something really unusual that we haven't seen. And so in that sense, I'm very curious to figure it out. I think there is something out there, and that's the reason that the former President Obama talked about it, and the current President Trump initiated this release. It means that it's quite likely that there are people within government that just don't know what to make of it. And in that case, perhaps it indicates something really unusual, and it will open a new age of disclosure that potentially would lead to the next Copernican revolution, where, right now we know we're not at the center of the universe, but we still think that we are at the top of the food chain of the Milky Way galaxy. And we might find out that there is actually a more accomplished sibling of our family of intelligent civilizations out there.
Avi, do you think the Pentagon will actually put out all the information it has about extraterrestrial life? Or, in your opinion, what information do you think they can safely put out so the public can digest?
They can safely disclose information that is, beyond any doubt, unrelated to human-made technologies. If you see an object behaving in ways that are well outside the performance envelope of existing human technologies, that should be released. If you see something accelerating, at an unprecedented rate or moving at very high speed, that cannot be done by our equipment. And we know pretty much what adversarial nations are using. So that is the kind of data that should be shared. And also data from a long time ago that is not relevant to the present-day battlefield. So I do feel that there is a lot for them to consider, and I would be happy to either help Congress analyze that kind of evidence, or perhaps collaborate with people at the Pentagon that, for example, at the office that was established there, the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, to analyze such anomalies.
All right, Avi, I have to ask about this. Obviously, you're the expert here. So what kind of information have you seen in regards to intelligent alien life through all of your work in this topic?
Yeah, I haven't seen any conclusive evidence, but we really did not fund any substantive research in this direction. And, right now, the mainstream of the astronomy community is willing to allocate more than $10 billion in the search for microbes, looking for the chemical fingerprints of microbes in the atmospheres of planets around other stars. But I argue that we should allocate similar funds to the search for technological signatures, because they might be easier to detect, even if microbes are far more abundant. And I think it's a matter of common sense to imagine, especially if you read the news every day, you realize there could be a smarter kid on the block. We are not that smart.
Yeah, I mean, you are not wrong at all. I completely agree. Avi Loeb, thank you so much for your time today on 24/7. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.